History Month sermon. You know, we got the shortest month. This is a good Black History Month sermon because there ain't gonna be no black future if we keep letting these people come to our HBCUs, go to places where we collect, and convince us to kill our children and to have smaller families. And these are the same people who keep the border open. Them brought in 8 million people in the last 3 years. Ain't nobody vetted. They're killing people. All kinds of things. But those folk have been brought in to replace us. And the next move is going to be that they're going to begin to push amnesty to give those people the right to vote. When that happens, that's going to erase the black man.
I tell you, Bishop Patrick Wooden, like I said before, he's my favorite bishop. If I lived in the Raleigh area, if I was close enough to the Raleigh area, I'm down here in Charlotte, outside of Charlotte, so like a 2.5, 3 hour drive. But if I was closer to the Raleigh area, I would drive up there and attend his church because he's one of the few pastors at large, but in particular, one of the few black pastors that is bold enough and courageous enough to speak the truth in terms of what's really going on in this country and how the Democratic Party, and not just the Democratic Party, but the people in charge, the elites, see black people and how they're using the migrants and using tactics to get rid of the black community, to number one, divorce the black community from Jesus, separate us from Jesus, and then remove us out the way, and then replace black folks with the migrants. I made a video a few weeks ago talking about how we are being replaced. Well, now we're going to see why we're being replaced. It's the same thing I've said over and over and over again. It's not just Democrats either, because the Democrats, because they always get the black vote, they neglect black people. Whereas the Republicans, because in the past they didn't need the black vote, they just completely ignored it. The only president that has made any kind of inroads or effort is Trump. But listen to Bishop Wooden talk about why the migrants are coming in to replace us. This is fascinating.
This is a good Black History Month sermon. You know, we got the shortest month. This is a good Black History Month sermon because there ain't gonna be no black future if we keep letting these people come to our HBCUs, go to places where we collect, and convince us to kill our children and to have smaller families. And these are the same people who keep the border open. Them brought in 8 million people in the last 3 years. Ain't nobody vetted. They're killing people. All kinds of things. But those folk have been brought in to replace us. And the next move is going to be that they're going to begin to push amnesty to give those people the right to vote. When?
And that is so true. You hear them talking about it. As a matter of fact, in some cities, I know they're fighting this in New York, but in some cities, these illegals, if they have a green card, can't even vote in municipal elections. Think about that. People that have come here illegally, or people that are not citizens of this country, have the ability to vote in municipal elections. And they're pushing this on the state and federal level. Watch. That's the next thing they're put. There's the reason. That's one reason why they're bringing these people in, to get a new voter base.
When that happens, that's going to erase the black man.
You notice he said the black man. The erasure is of the black man because in the male, the way God created it, the male contains the seed. If you get rid of the seed, then all is left is the woman with the womb. And so when you erase the black man, you erase the seed, you erase the ability for an ethnicity to propagate. You erase the ability of an ethnicity to continue to flourish, to reproduce after its own kind, technically, if you will, even though we are one race, the human race. But I'm speaking specifically in terms of the ethnicity, what people call black, even though race is an American construct, it's a construct created by the American system to keep people separate, to keep white people here and black people here. But that's neither here or there. That's another video to talk about. But when you erase the male, you erase the seed. And when you destroy the seed, you destroy the ethnicity.
And the black family. Oh, it's a plan. That's a plan. I've been talking.
The plan has been in place to destroy the black family ever since the Great Society, ever since they started paying women to not have men in the home, instead of when they started paying women more money to have more children, when they convinced. You have to understand something. When welfare first started, it was seen as a badge of dishonor in the black community. Black folks didn't want to get on welfare. They understood what it was. They wanted to earn their way. They didn't want to receive anything from the government, but through marketing and through strong persuasion of black women, the government convinced black women to start receiving welfare, to start receiving the benefits. And that created a wedge. That's where the wedge started in the black community. And the purpose is Marxism. The purpose was to destroy the black family. And that's how they did it. And that was the intention. Why do you think the number of children born to single mothers in the black community skyrocketed? That was intentional. You had an outside agent accelerate that by giving money to these women, create an environment where it was beneficial for them to have children without a man in the home. Now, I'm not absolving the men from this either. The men should have stepped up and said, no, I'm raising my child. I take the responsibility upon myself. Some men, they bear the brunt of this blame too, because they saw the easy way out. They wanted to create the child, but didn't want to parent the child. That's wrong too.
I've talked about it for a long time. That's a plan. God showed it to me. That's a plan. Why would they do this? Several reasons. Number one, cheaper labor. We ain't gonna work for nothing. We did that. It was called slavery. We ain't doing that no more. Neither should we. And then the other thing that's attractive is the new folk that they're bringing in, unlike us, they'll vote both ways.
Listen to this. They'll vote both ways. Listen to this.
See, when you got one group of people who 99% of the time vote one way, that group of people have just made themselves obsolete. Because the people who you vote for 90+% of the time know that they ain't got to do anything for you to get your vote, because you're going to do it. Except visit your churches every 4 years and come stop by and tell you they're going to put y'all back in chains. They're going to send y'all back to Africa. They don't want y'all. I don't feel no way, son. And we fall for it every time.
Every time. Like I've said over and over and over again, the majority of black churches, black pastors in the black community are church plants. They're there for the sole purpose to keep black people in their place, to keep black people voting for the Democratic Party. The pastors are I want to say it delicately, the pastors are back in slavery, how they had people that were lookouts to ensure that there was not any kind of uprising happening among the slaves. Well, that's what the majority of black pastors do for the Democratic Party. They try to tamp down any type of rebellion. As a matter of fact, you see this happening right now. Just pay attention. You have all these black pastors celebrating Fonnie Willis. You have all these black pastors speaking against President Trump. You want to know why? Because a lot of black people are starting to wake up to the fact, especially young black people my age and younger, they're waking up to the fact that, nah, man, the Democratic Party hasn't done nothing for us. And you sit up here and tell me every Sunday that I am oppressed, that I'm a victim, but yet you preach about a Jesus that overcame death. So why can't I overcome things? So people are starting to wake up to that. And so therefore, the Democratic Party has dispatched their overseers, their underlings, if you will, to make sure black people stay in their place. The problem is it's not working. And so therefore, they're going to start using all kind of fear tactics. Watch my words. They're already doing it, calling Trump a racist, trying to jump on a portion of a speech he gave last Friday. I was supposed to be at that event, but I couldn't make it. That event he spoke in South Carolina, they're trying to use that event to say Trump is a racist. They talking about the shoes that Trump put out, the Trump shoes, and how Trump is playing to the base nature of black folks, like they all concerned about shoes, which unfortunately a lot of black people are concerned about shoes. We all think about our shoes, but you're going to hear more and more and more of this stuff because they are desperate. They know if they lose 20% of the black vote, they are done, because their plan is being hampered because black people are stepping up in Chicago and New York and other places saying, no, you can't have these migrants come into our communities.
Every 4 years we fall for it. Well, that says to that party, you don't have to do anything for them. And then the other party that know you ain't gonna vote for them no matter what they do, they have no incentive at all. Now they brought in a group of people who both groups can fight for. It takes us and moves us out. I've been saying this for years. This is not new. I didn't start saying this last year or 2 years ago. God showed me. God showed me the plan. I've talked to politicians. You get their confidence on both sides. They'll tell you neither party of the two major parties, neither one of them are counting on us being around in the next 50 years or so.
That is so true, because we are destroying our progeny in the womb. We are being destroyed. We're being programmed for destruction. Our young people are shooting each other and killing each other. We are eating ourselves into destruction. That's why you have liquor stores and fast food and fried food places in the black community. And fourthly, we're not industrious enough. They've driven us out of being entrepreneurs. As a matter of fact, they don't even want us to be a part of trade schools. They don't want us to build up skills necessary to allow us to build our own businesses. And so they are, I'm telling you, their plan of removing black people from this land is in effect. And too many of us are so blinded, we can't even see it. We can't even see it. That's why I pray for discernment, because a lot of us can't even see it. We can't even fathom it. We're like, nah, you're lying. And they get mad at people like me that have been saying this for a while, and people like Bishop Wooden, like we just selling wolf tickets out here. God will give you the ability to see what is going on. And I see it happening. And that's why I have this channel. That's why I say we're not victims. We are empowered for greatness, because I see what is happening. Unless we stop it right now and stem this tide and make people honor who we are as Americans, honor who we are as, in particular, I'm speaking to Christians, honor who we are as image bearers of Christ, then the black community is, look, they've already instituted communism and Marxism in the black community. They've already done it. They've already marshaled all the black folks into these high-rise condominiums they call projects. They've pushed the black. Why do you think gentrification only happens to historically black communities? Think about it, people. Think about what is going on. Please, please, please open your eyes. Please open your eyes to what is happening.
They won't tell you, but they moved on.
I just wanted you to hear what Bishop Wooden is saying. Bishop Wooden and others, as well as myself, we are sounding the alarm. We are the watchmen. We're sitting on the wall and we see the destruction that's already taking place. We see it is coming to truly, truly destroy the black community. We must return to our relationship, a true relationship with Jesus. Bring that back. Bring back the biblical order, but also make these people earn our vote. Make sure that we are respected in this land, in this country. This is our country. This is ours, and we must fight for it, because we're not victims. We are empowered for greatness.